Welcome back to another episode of Excuse My Grandma. It's Kim and my co-host,
Grandma Gail.
back in the studio.
I love the studio. We're having a lot of fun. We actually have been spending the entire week going to different neighborhoods in Manhattan, and we found this little jewel here.
Well, let me just say, I am constantly going from neighborhood to neighborhood in New York City. It's almost my least and favorite part of the city where nothing is ever convenient because one friend will want to get dinner in the West Village, then I'll have an appointment on the Lower East Side, and things take so long to get back and forth. But obviously the different personalities of each area, and you can explore, and you don't know every single crevice of the city. That's great too. But you rarely leave the Upper East Side, so for you, you're like,
true.
oh my gosh, this week we went to so many neighborhoods. But I do that every day.
Well, that's why you're young. But for an old person, it's an adventure. And I feel like I'm going to each little section of New York has its own personality, like every city has. We have that in Florida as well, or wherever you go. In New Orleans, we had that if you go to the countryside or the city. But New York has so many neighborhoods and so many different characteristics. That's fun, and I'm really enjoying it. And the weather in June has been beautiful.
Yeah,
so
it
we've
makes
been
a
very
huge
lucky.
difference when
Of
it's
course.
nice.
It's not
obviously.
hot, and everything sort of looks clean, and the summer hasn't started yet, so it's just beginning.
Yeah, but it's starting to feel like the beginning of summer.
June. Well, June is
Yeah.
one of my favorite months.
Yeah, and going to the Hamptons on the weekends obviously makes it feel summery. I've been to the beach a few times, which has been nice. No whales yet.
No, that comes a little later
yeah.
because they have to. The seals and everything have to migrate. You got
yeah.
a time for
the
that.
water's so cold though.
But look for sharks. Sharks are all over the place because the waters
Oy.
aren't getting warmer. So
I do love a beach picnic date kind of moment though. So I feel like if people are near a beach on the weekends, it's such a good date idea. You just can't like make out in public unless you don't care. But
nobody cares.
yeah, no one really cares.
And you know what's very fun? You got it as a gift once. They have these pocketbooks. They're not called pocketbooks.
Oh, they're called Modern Picnic. You mean the insulated?
Yeah, they're fabulous.
Yeah.
They look like bags, but you put all the food in, and it stays. I don't know for how many hours, but it stays pretty much the whole afternoon.
Yeah.
So that's a great tip. Anyway, let's talk about what we've been doing in June, Kim. You've had your 10th high school reunion.
10-year reunion, which I posted a video getting ready to go, but people have bumped into me on the street and stuff and been like, oh my gosh, you never said how it was, which I realized I never made a video after. So if you're listening now, it was good. It was probably 70% of the class, which is a large turnout. Everyone looked exactly the same.
Which is great. Well, it's 10 years. It's 10 years. But a lot of them probably are now either engaged or getting married or whatever, starting their careers.
I feel
They're
like
out
10
of school.
people brought husbands or wives.
All right. Well, that's 10%.
Yeah. Otherwise, a lot of people had just moved back to New York, like they had left for a while.
Right.
A lot of lawyers, a lot of business school, very like straight arrow careers, which I found interesting.
Well, the world is becoming a better place for straight and narrow people. They need to make a living there.
No, I feel the opposite. I feel like now's the time you could be an entrepreneur. You can like have a niche. There's so many more types of jobs. I was surprised that, especially at such a creative school, obviously it means like a lot of these people are brilliant, obviously, but I thought someone would say they started some fabulous company, and I didn't really hear that.
It's still early.
Yeah.
Give them time. It's only 10 years.
Yes, and someone from like the 20th reunion said that they knew me from our videos, which was nice.
Only one person?
Yeah.
It's a slow night.
I know.
This is not good,
Oh,
Kim.
but also I forgot about this. Someone I used to work with at Cheddar,
right?
His wife went to Dalton and came up to me too and was like, you used to work with my husband, which was crazy.
Anyway, it was a fun thing, and you went with 2 guy friends because your girlfriends weren't around.
Yeah, my girlfriends weren't around, but I did hang out with some of my girlfriends from high school that I haven't seen in years, which was nice. Great. Yeah. I mean, and they were so nice and like encouraging. I remember why I liked them. And then, the guys I see all the time, but it was nice to kind of have them. And they were so like they were saying, "I'm not nervous. I don't care." And then they were like, definitely nervous.
Everybody is a little nervous because you haven't seen them in a while, and everybody wonders, well, maybe I'm getting a little gray, maybe my makeup isn't great, maybe
Yeah.
they'll so those are all things that are just very
Mhm.
normal. I mean, normal anxiety when you go to a place that you haven't seen somebody in a while. But
Yeah.
after a couple of minutes, you realize everybody's exactly the same. I had a 50th high school reunion, and I thought everybody looked the same.
Right.
The ones that showed up and that were still around.
But didn't was that it? Oh,
High
at
school.
Poppy's reunion when they were like,
Oh, no,
"Oh,
that-
you were like I was friends with you from Harvard,"
that
and you
was
were
terrible. That was no,
What,
not
the-
no, it wasn't a Harvard
high
reunion.
school?
It was a high school reunion he went to for his 20th.
Oh.
And we were, married naturally. And the fellow came up and said, "You look exactly the same," and whatever. And he carried on. I never went to his high school.
Right.
So, people sometimes just don't know what to say. They want to break the ice, which
Yeah.
is something we talk about when you want to break the ice, even on a date or when you go into a party. And what is an opening comment?
Yeah.
That people ask us, how do you do that? It's a little difficult sometimes.
Yeah, I think less so on a date because you already have the in.
Right.
But definitely when you're at a bar or a party and you want to approach someone, I definitely am like, guys, that is your job. But unfortunately, they are scared or something.
of
So
course.
that's not happening. So I think like complimenting someone on something like, oh, I like that. Let's say they're wearing a sports jersey or
Right.
whatever. Like, you can make a comment about that team,
Yeah.
or if they're wearing a certain, like a blue t-shirt, like say like, oh, that's a really nice color on you, or whatever it is. It's still scary, but it's easier than just saying hi.
I think almost the fellows are shyer than the guys. So I think the girls than the girls. I think the girls have to make an effort and go up. If somebody is with by himself.
Right. But then you're not asking them on a date.
No, it's
you're
just saying
opening
hi.
the door.
Exactly.
So
Opening
it's not
the door
like
is important.
Yeah, so you don't seem intimidating
Mhm.
for whatever reason. I think also girls go out with other girls a lot, and we kind of go in a little
Stay
circle, so maybe that could be hard to break into. I think another good thing is saying like, "What are you drinking?" or making a comment about that, or saying like,
Or do you go to AAA?
No. I feel like a lot of time I'll say, "Okay, let's go get a drink," and I kind of stand by the bar hoping that someone will say,
Okay.
"What are you drinking?" or something.
There's
Another
all ways to
underrated
start a
thing is just
conversation.
like looking at someone and trying to kind of make eye contact and then looking away and like being on their radar
Right.
and giving someone the opening to walk
Okay.
over.
Well, all those are tips. It's good.
They're tips.
good.
I don't know how well they work, but
All right,
they're
but
options at
it's
least.
options out there, so
Yeah.
that's good. And this is a time of the year where you have all these social events,
Mhm.
especially 20 somethings and 30 somethings. A lot of them are getting engaged.
Yeah.
A lot of them, you have engagement parties and wedding parties. So everybody's sort of in a circle of some close friends, but then there aren't new friends.
Mhm.
And hopefully by opening up a conversation, your circle becomes wider.
Yeah.
And that's the whole secret to everybody's success,
Mhm.
because it is hard to meet people your own age, no matter what age it is. I have friends that say to me, who are unfortunately a widow or a widower, "Fix me up," and you try, you do want to have them. Everyone should have somebody to have dinner with, have a drink with, just sit and talk and chat with. So I think it is important to know how to break the ice.
Yes, for sure. Speaking of weddings and stuff, Grandma and I went shopping today for a bridesmaid's dress for my friend Alexa's wedding. I have ordered every single dress,
At least 12.
like at least,
Yeah.
and returned all of them because it's so hard to find something that flatters you that you're going to be taking so many pictures in, and there's like,
Well, the problem is when you're a bridesmaid. If you're just going to the wedding, you can do your
Yeah.
own thing. But when you're a bridesmaid,
it's more
you're
specific.
starting to look at every wrinkle when you're walking, because
Mhm.
you are walking down the aisle as well. So you become much
And
more
also you have to have a
critical.
specific color and
And you
whatever.
have a color,
and-
exactly. I came up with a thing. I think black is very good.
Yeah. I think
Because
a black
black weddings seem to be easier for the woman to find a dress. But we
But
went
you get to
several.
wear black whenever,
I
so
know.
it's kind of
Well, I sort of like it, but
yeah,
the color that your friends are doing is very beautiful. They're very
Yeah.
light pastel shades,
exactly.
and some of the girls will wear all the different shades that she selected.
Mhm.
So, but you had on high necks, low necks, round necks, scoop necks.
Well, finally, after we like
Two
have
and a half
ordered from so
hours.
many different brands,
Right.
we went to a bridal specific place that has all of these different
Right.
things to actually find a shape that made sense. And then they come in every color. So I think
It's
we
very
pretty
hard.
much.
It's very hard ordering things online for
Yeah.
this. It
I mean,
really
I already
is.
sort of know the shape that suits my body, and I ended up being proven right.
You were right. You were right.
Both like kind of everything, both with the bottom part, what's that called? Like the skirt, whatever,
skirt.
and with the bodice and with the sleeve. Like I kind of know.
It's just getting it all together.
Exactly.
And we had a very nice people in the shop, so
Mhm.
they were having fun with us.
Yeah,
and,
we'll post a video. I took a little bit of footage.
So it was a fun afternoon. It was an experience, and we met a bride, and she
Yeah.
recognized us.
Yeah, her mom did.
So they asked if Kimmy was also getting married. We said no, we're just looking at bridesmaids dresses.
Yep.
But she looked
Actually,
very
like 4
pretty.
people were like, "Are you the bride?" And I was like, "No, I'm
No.
still not the bride." After the 5th time you've asked, thank you.
Exactly, but it was a fun experience. People were
Yes.
very nice and very patient
Mhm.
because you're trying on dresses that are really not in your size, and you've got to sort of think
Right.
about, what this is going to look like in the color you have to choose from. So,
Mhm.
but it was fun.
And then I have a wedding in like a week and a half,
Yeah, but that's different,
but I'm just a guest. Yes.
Right,
So,
that's and that's out west. So
Yeah,
they're going
it's
to have a
out
little
west.
Western theme.
But I'm pretty sure I have outfits for that. But
Definitely take boots. I'm telling you,
yeah,
cowboy
definitely
boots.
cowboy boots. I mean,
I
I'm not
rem-
wearing that on the night of
I
the wedding.
remember
but
you had to buy. I don't know if anybody saw this of Kim a
I
couple
don't
of
know
years
if I
ago.
posted it
She had to buy these boots. We had 15 conversations over
while I was in
well-
Utah
while you were in Utah. This boot, that boot. Have you ever worn the boot since you left Utah?
once.
Exactly.
But I'll tell you what I
knew
haven't
it.
worn: my Kimo Sabe cowboy hat,
Oh.
which is a big purchase if people know that brand. It's for something that you never wear.
Well, I think you should take it.
I'm 100% going to take it. I'm just wondering if I should wear it with like a dress and make it like that
Well,
kind
not
of
for the
thing.
wedding. Not for the
no,
wedding.
no.
Maybe
But like
with
the night
jean
before.
Maybe the jean night.
That doesn't go with the outfit.
Oh.
It's like beige.
Oh.
Or I can just wear it during the day while I'm out there.
Yeah, well, because it could be sunny and it's a good sun protector.
Yeah, but they're like thick.
Oh.
It's supposed to be kind of weather
Why would you
resistant.
why do you think
Everyone
you would
has one, and I could spend more time out west. There's
All right,
nothing wrong
that's
with
true.
that.
That's true.
I like
it's
it.
a very
Well,
pretty
by the
area.
way, like if you go to lunch in Soho or in Brooklyn or whatever, people are wearing hats.
Oh, but
like-
not those big cowboy hats.
It's not super big. It's just like it has a little bit of a wide rim, but it's like
Well, then you should do it.
I know, but I chicken out. Have you ever worn hats?
No, I don't look good in hats. For some reason,
Yeah.
you look very pretty in the hats. I don't really look good in hats.
Yeah.
So
Well, your hair is like a
my hair is
piece.
very short.
Yeah.
So you can't see
Right.
you can't see my head disappears under the hat, and I sort of look like a schmoo.
Yeah.
So it's
Like
not
a
a great
schmoo.
it's not a great look.
Yeah. I mean, you could do like
What
a
are those little
beret.
things in the cartoon? That go like this. That's what I look like.
I have no idea what that is.
It's coming out in a new movie. Actually, Pixar has them, and they're little tiny things. That's what I look like.
Oh.
You know what's the name
From
of that?
Despicable Me?
Yes.
Oh my god, what are those called?
I don't know, but that's what I look like.
Minions.
That's Minions. That's what I look like in a hat.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So it's not a look for me.
Yeah, that's.
But
so
I'm
funny.
having fun because I went out to our little country house and I was busy planting. And first of all, we've had a lot of beautiful weather and a lot of rain, which is great for roses and hydrangeas. My house, I wish I had a party this weekend because I must have 2,000 roses all over the arbor. It's so beautiful, and it lasts. I hope it doesn't rain over the weekend because then all the roses are gone, all the petals
That sounds
leave.
so pretty.
So it was so beautiful last weekend, and I sort of really love that. So
Do you think you'll have a party or something?
no,
Oh,
no,
Okay.
because my house is too tiny, and it's really not.
we can go take some pictures.
We can take pictures of the
Yeah.
flowers though this weekend because the hydrangeas this season are going to be just beautiful.
Mhm.
It's going to be really a picture of pink and purple out there.
I feel like some hosting tips with flowers people might like to see
Well,
from
that
us.
I could do.
I don't know.
I could.
I
cut
don't
some
know a lot of
flowers.
that stuff.
No,
Like
you're very good. You did a beautiful cocktail party last summer.
no, but
at
I
your
just
mom's.
had like the flowers that mom already had out.
Oh, you mean
Like,
she?
I
Oh,
don't-
I thought you did it.
No, I didn't do anything. I just like bought, and I had 3 girlfriends staying with me. Like they did it.
Oh,
I just
oh.
set things up on a table.
I have to tell you one thing about going out to any resort area. You can drive on the roads, the side roads, and every little corner has a farm stand full of beautiful
Yeah.
bouquets of flowers.
It's so nice.
Nobody has to go anywhere. They don't have to
Mhm.
go to a florist. They don't have to ask anybody for help. All you do is take them out of the pot and give the woman the $10. They are beautiful.
The flowers in the Hamptons are all nice. Like,
They're
it's hard to
gorgeous.
find nice flowers here unless you're going to a
Well,
flower
because-
shop, which is super expensive. I
Yeah.
mean, the ones out in the Hamptons probably are too, but
No, well, I don't go to a flower shop because I have
Yeah.
those ladies on the corner. And
yeah.
the farm, that was the one thing this weekend. I did go someplace, and I brought, my son came over Saturday morning,
Mhm.
and I do have a son as well as a daughter, and he's a very good cook. And he came over with a zucchini loaf, but the zucchini loaf was like
Did he
12
make
feet
it?
long. I mean, of
Oh,
course he made it
yeah.
himself. He had some fresh zucchini left over, and he decided to make a loaf. So he brought me one. He made one for his daughter with chocolate chips, and he leaves that
So
out for me. It was so, I had one taste. It was delicious. So I decided I'll bring it to my friend's house for lunch. This got the greatest review of the day. They're still
Really?
talking about the zucchini loaf.
Oh my god.
I said, I can't believe it. I sliced it up, cut them in half so everybody had a bite size. And she was very sweet. She put it on the table. It was a major hit. So that was really a delicious taste.
Do you think you should
summer.
learn to make it or something?
No,
or
I
do you think
think
Jeff?
I'm gonna
do you think he'll make
he
it for
could
you
just
again?
make it for me again.
Okay.
He said, and actually I put in a request now that I know it's so good
Yep.
for a banana loaf
Okay.
because I think
Have
I like
them
that.
do a taste test and compare it.
And which one I like better.
Yeah, and see what your friends like
I-
better.
I think it's all going to be for me now. Just make
Oh.
them smaller. I mean, he made a loaf. I'm telling
No,
you,
but
I
that
could
was
have fed
good
it.
if you were going to a
Well,
party.
he didn't know that.
Yeah.
I could have fed
Oh.
an entire village from that
so
loaf.
funny. Yeah. Someone on a date the other day brought me flowers just because.
Oh, I think
Isn't
that.
so nice.
Oh, I love him.
I know.
I don't know who he is, but I love him.
Yeah. But like it is such a good everyone loves flowers.
I love flowers.
Have them in their home. I have an orchid in my apartment that grandma always brings me one because she knows exactly when the old one's like gonna die and brings me a new one.
Well, when it's tilting over and goes,
You
I
mean
think
when
need
I
a
already
new
killed
one.
it and
need
you
a
can
new
tell
one.
that it's
No,
dead?
you don't kill it because your
No,
your
they always grow
apartment has
back anyway.
gorgeous light. So
you know, if
I
you
mean,
leave it,
that's-
they'll just come back.
I know yours really do come back. You've
Yeah.
had flowers come out, and I mean, I can't do that in
Yeah.
mine. But in your place where the light is just perfect for orchids,
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I feel like I should have more flowers. I also told you that on the Eberjay trip, a tarot card reader told me that I should always have cut flowers in my house.
well, it is very nice. So you go
And
right
it's
down.
for like good luck, I guess.
All right, you can always
I
get
don't
them
know.
down. So you know what?
I live
Trader
in the
Joe's is
flower
right down.
district.
Exactly, and Trader Joe's
the plant
sells them right in a little. They also have them in all made up in a bouquet, and it's two
I
blocks
know,
away from
but,
you.
like, I almost feel like going into these stores in the plant district is better. It's
Well,
probably cheaper.
yeah. I don't know. I
Yeah, I
think
don't
Trader
know
Joe's
either.
is pretty cheap
Oh,
and
I'll
does a
check it
good
out.
job, and they do good things.
So the last 2 nights I've cooked. Surprise.
Give us no,
Okay.
you're a very good salmon maker.
Yeah, no, I know, but I just haven't been cooking in like
Right, well,
years
you've been so
out of
busy.
laziness or whatever. But I feel like it's healthy, and I just wanted
Mhm.
to try. And so I've
What'd you
been
make?
trying the proteins, like seafood,
Okay.
from all the different markets. So I've tried now Whole Foods, Fairway, Eataly. I don't think I've done Trader Joe's yet to see which one feels like the freshest
So
for
which one do you
salmon
like?
or shrimp. I'm honestly not like.
Seeing the difference.
No. I see the difference. I haven't really liked any of them. I
Oh.
find that they've all been pretty fishy.
Well, then they're not farm raised. They're
I don't know.
I mean,
Last
they are
night I
farm
had
raised. They're
shrimp
not
from
wild.
Whole Foods, which was $7 for like a pound. Is
Well,
that?
that's very cheap.
I know.
Those are not real.
And like
those are
today,
not,
I kind of
maybe
felt
those
sick.
are not real shrimp
No, they were.
or frozen.
And like I don't feel.
Well, they're
they
definitely,
said frozen.
Oh,
They
well,
were
then they're not
previously frozen.
Yeah, then that's
And
like
then I
buying
like.
them in a bag.
Then it was like kind of gross. Like I made it
It's fine if
in
you're
a
mixing them
pesto
with rice.
sauce,
Oh, all right,
which was good with quinoa and
Right.
like spinach.
right.
But
sounds good.
it did taste off.
Well, you need to go to a fish. You need Whole Foods has fresh things,
No,
and
that
Fairway
was-
has fresh seafood.
you think it's fresh, but then you look in the fine print.
Well, then don't do it.
So
then
I'm
I wouldn't
wondering if
do
there's
it.
like an actual fish
There has
market.
to be a fish market in your area.
The Eataly one was fine. It was more just I ordered it on Instacart instead of going, and it came in like the biggest
much.
portion ever.
You only need for one person. You need a half a pound of shrimp.
Well,
or
oh,
e-
no, but
not
that's
even
with
maybe a
salmon.
quarter.
And the salmon slice was so big that then it was sort of hard to cook temperature correctly. And then
Well, you're ordering too much. You're buying it for two people. I mean,
it's always sort of for two people though.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could get really
because you can't freeze that. So it's the shrimp.
no.
No
But you
good.
know what? It's
You have
kind
to
of
go
like
into a
you
market
feel
yourself.
super independent
Yeah.
walking into a market and buying stuff and then going home and cooking it and eating
That's what the Europeans do all the time.
alone. Like it's a weird feeling where I'm like, oh, it would be nice probably to do it with someone, but then
No.
it's also like kind of I don't know, you feel
Empowered.
empowered
You would feel empowered.
weirdly to like
Yeah.
go and buy yourself something and then make it and cook it and eat it and like clean
Enjoy
up.
it. All right.
It's weird, like more so than ordering takeout.
Oh, well, for sure.
Because
It's
I mean, I
also
order in
healthier.
alone all the time, but it
Right.
feels different for some reason because you're
Because
doing
you
like
did it, you accomplished a thing. I saw a couple
Maybe.
of very interesting salmon recipes, but I'll tell them to you later with
Okay.
porcine cheese, but it's a
That's
very fattening.
gross.
Oh, it was delicious.
Cheese
She
and
baked
fish?
it, and she baked it.
I don't like
It was,
that.
Oh, all
That's
right.
not kosher anyway.
Well, you're not kosher.
I know. I'm just saying. Is it?
Yes, it is kosher because
Oh.
you're not.
Why can't you mix?
You can't put cheese with meat.
Oh.
Definitely can put it with fish.
My
But all
friend
right, but
told me
when-
she went to a kosher wedding the other day, and it is complicated. Like she was like, "Can I
Oh,
have a
yeah.
martini?" They were like, "No," because like the vermouth
Vodka,
or
right.
whatever. So then it was
Well,
like
they're
kind of
very
hard. Like you can have
religious.
like a vodka soda, but it was hard because and they had people actually at this wedding saying kosher and not kosher. Like that was their job to be like, "You can't have that."
Oh, well, you know what? There are very few people that.
I know. It's just interesting.
It's interesting. Well, I actually had a kosher wedding.
You
But
did,
yeah, but that was the time. I mean, I wouldn't do that today.
but
But
you
my
weren't
parents,
more religious.
but my grandparents were,
Right,
and my great grandparents were still alive. So my great grandmother came to the wedding.
Right.
So for those people from the
Oh,
old
your
country,
great grandma
yeah,
came to
she
your
was
wedding.
she was in those days. She was like 88. So
Right.
she was alive.
That's pretty crazy.
And we gave her food. She really was very religious. She wouldn't eat from even kosher caterer.
Oh, wow.
She had to have it in an aluminum little container
Right.
made by a very, very observant
That's
cook.
crazy.
And they packaged it and she ate it out of that. She could
Why
the
didn't you
dishes.
eat before?
You know
Well, I
what?
guess if you could do that,
I have
that's
no
easy.
idea. Didn't analyze it. I think that's the last time
But
I
you
saw
were
her.
kosher growing up anyway.
I was until my younger brother brought bacon into the house.
Yeah, then
And then
game
that ruined
over.
it. The game
Right.
was over.
Yeah. So at your wedding, did you do did like every generation speak? Your
No,
parents,
just the
grandparents, and great
just
grandparents?
the grandparents. They all walked down the aisle because I was very
Oh,
lucky. I
yeah.
had all my grandparents alive
All
when I got
grandparents
married.
and your great grandparents?
No, not all, just one.
Oh, okay,
just
okay.
one. But
she
but they
walked
all
down
the
the aisle
grandparents, no,
too.
but
Oh.
all the grandparents walked down the aisle, and
Okay.
just the two grandfathers from both sides. Actually,
Okay.
yeah,
Rarely
three
do they
grand-
speak.
No, we had three grandparents speaking because
I don't think I've seen. Well, I've only been to like one wedding,
because
but
Poppy's grandfather had passed.
right.
Well, on his father's side.
Usually they don't speak though. The
They
grandparents.
did a blessing.
Oh, okay.
They did a blessing.
That makes sense.
So it's very nice. It makes everybody feel that it's, that it's continuous, that a family has roots and it's tradition,
no, it's
which
so
is
nice.
which
That's the
is
whole
so
point
nice.
of the
That's
wedding.
the whole point of a wedding. It's not about what you're doing, and it's about family and commitment.
Yeah. I also think a lot of the time I've seen the bridal shower or something thrown by grandparents or
Yes.
the engagement party
Yeah.
thrown by grandparents. Although sometimes it's the
It can be whatever.
the groom's family.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I mean,
some way to
It
involve.
used to be in the old days, and it's probably completely
Mhm.
not now. The rehearsal dinner used to be hosted by the boys' parents, and then the
Oh
wedding.
yeah, that's
Well,
what
the
my
wedding,
friend. Yeah.
the wedding was the mother's. But now I think so many weddings are hosted by both families because, first of all, it's so expensive,
Yeah.
and both families want to be involved.
Right.
So it's
The
there's
issue
no,
is
there's no right
there's
or
more
wrong way.
opinions
Well,
when
there are
everybody's
more
paying.
opinions, and that is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
So they have to hopefully stand back and let the bride make the final decisions.
Right.
It's hard.
I would
though.
love if other people could just make all my decisions. The
No,
more
you
people
won't. Not
making
when-
my decisions.
Well, you like
no,
that.
No.
No, but
I-
really, when
I-
it's your time, you'll see. You
Yeah.
want to put your own stamp on things. It's good to get everybody's opinion, but you have
You
to
make
be
the
the
call.
final opinion.
For sure.
Okay. Well, Kim, I think your wedding, the weddings are going to be beautiful that you're going to. There's really nothing else on our plans for this summer except to have fun and eat.
Yeah, I'm sure
I-
things will come up.
Right. I had I had a very good dinner at a couple of restaurants in the Hamptons this weekend, and it wasn't so busy, which was very nice. I think the big surge of people coming in starts to happen after the kids get out of school. So restaurants is still livable.
Wait, kids aren't out of school?
No, not yet. Schools and some of the private schools in the Manhattan end this weekend, and public schools end next week.
Wow.
So that'll be a big, for all the resort communities. And the weather was so great for every place. So the beaches were full. And so everybody who's out of town and wants to come into New York, come on in. We have loads of activities now. Theater Tonys are coming up next week.
Oh, I know. Wait, should we do something about predictions?
Well, I don't. I
Like
think
later,
it's yeah, I think later. I'm thinking Water for Elephants is going to win a lot.
I'm seeing that.
Yeah,
in 2 weeks.
It's a little sad, but I think that's going to win all. I think that's going to do a lot of things, and also Hell's Kitchen. I think those are the two.
I kind of want to see that before the Tonys, though, and there's no
but
way.
It's a hard ticket.
No, but then
to get.
once it wins, how hard of a ticket is it?
And then there was an article in the paper that two of the leads in Hell's Kitchen had some issues with their voices.
Oh.
So they had a couple of nights off. But anyway,
shoot.
the Tonys are coming here. New York is a festival. July 4th is the most fun weekend in New York with the fireworks. So.
Well, we have some time before July 4th, like a month.
Not so many weeks.
Really?
It's the middle of July already.
No, it's the middle. It's like early.
I mean June.
Yeah.
June. So I'm looking forward to the summer, and I'm looking forward to doing lots of good things together on our podcast.
It'll be fun.
And I hope people love our new studio.
Along. Yes. Okay. Another great episode of Excuse My Grandma. Follow us on social media, Excuse My Grandma, and we will see you soon.
Bye.